is a stronger woman. Because
Sure.
you got to put up with his
Happy
shit.
wife, happy life.
Now, see that I've never liked that. I've never liked the Ray Romano.
Happy wife, happy
You know,
life.
yeah, that kind of I don't know.
I've never liked Ray Romano either. Thank you for saying so.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Everybody loves Raymond. Is a
Hang on.
No.
What are you talking about there, Jen?
Everybody Loves Raymond is a great show, but like I just hated the way that he would just fold to his mom and his wife and just like anything to just get out of this.
Well,
it's
I
fine
think
with me.
most men,
Like every guy on television is portrayed that way. That we're just terrified of upsetting women.
they just don't want to rock the boat. They just want their life. Like Ray didn't want to have to pay attention to his wife, but he also didn't want to be yelled at. He didn't want her to be mad, so he kind of would screw things up by lying.
Yeah,
And it always made it worse, where if he just paid attention to his wife and did what she asked,
right,
or participated in their marriage, then he would have been fine. But that was the moral of the story, I think.
Well, plus it was a sitcom, so they exaggerate those kinds of things.
Sure, but
For
I
the
mean,
sake of
like
entertainment.
I'll watch like Pawn Stars, and this guy will come in with some artifact or something, and he'll be talking to Rick. This is much newer than whatever, and he's like, "So how much are you looking to get?" And he's like, "I'm not going to be able to go home for anything less than $500 because my wife would be pissed." And I mean, just like like that whole
That's bullshit.
I mean, I've heard it a ton of times. Like I have to get this dollar amount, or my wife is going to be pissed.
Well,
or,
women do have a tendency to nag, if I could use such a word.
Okay, okay.
As I'm shooting daggers.
Yeah.
It's true, though.
I mean, nag has such an awful sound to
Okay.
it, but the meaning of it is really actually quite.
They
very
have
nice.
a tendency to wear you down with questions and questions.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to have answers. Eventually you can't just say, zip it. You're the woman. So, because she's gonna confront you.
Sure.
What'd you spend all this money on? What do you mean you sold it for this money?
Yeah.
So if you have someone to answer to in life, you gotta. I mean, just like I'm sure she would say, you have to help me get this car fixed. I can't go home with this giant scratch. My husband will kill me.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to upset the partner.
And so, is there a happy husband? Happy husband? I don't know.
That's kind of the motto at our house, I suppose.
Happy wife, happy life, or
Happy husband. I don't know. I don't know how to finish that statement.
Keep the blow, good to go.
for Joe. All right, so moving on. You guys were pretty animate about this on Saturday night, and I wanted to get you guys' take now that it's official.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna let you guys go ahead and have this one. But as I'm sure you guys know, Tom Brady's been suspended for 4 games. New England Patriots have lost draft picks and $1 million fine.
Mm-hmm.
What is your guys' take on deflation of footballs?
Emma.
Deflation of footballs in general?
On the punishment to Tom Brady.
How do you feel about this punishment?
I don't think it matters. I think the money is pocket change. It's
Sure.
not a huge deal. And I don't know.
Well, I, for one, think it is way too harsh.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
mean,
I was not expecting
draft
that.
picks hurts the team. Money hurts the team. They already said they don't think the team had anything to do with it. They think it was just Tom Brady and the guys he was working with.
Right.
And the fact that he didn't come forward, and they think that he...
Now, by not coming forward means that they wanted his cell phone.
Right.
They wanted to see his cell phone. Now, let me ask you guys this in your guys' line of work. If your boss came to you and said, I need to see your cell phone, are you just going to give it to him?
If they're investigating me on something and they want a proof that I'm innocent,
What if they're...
and
what
my
if,
phone can help prove that, then I would probably let them see my phone.
Okay, before deleting anything or editing anything or anything like that. And, I mean, this is like if you did do it and they're asking you
Right.
to provide the own proof,
Right.
to
Exactly. Well,
Okay.
and he wouldn't let him see his phone.
that's an amendment though.
So they said, well, yeah, but as we discussed Saturday, this isn't a
It's not a
court. This isn't
It's
justice.
true.
This is a job. And the employer says, hey, I want to see your phone. And he said, no. And
Yeah.
they said, well, we promise nothing sensitive will be released. It's just us looking at it in this room. And that's it. He said no.
Yeah.
And they said,
well,
well,
that's his personal property though.
I'd say no. You
Yeah,
never
I
know
would
what's
say
going to
no.
happen of it. You
Hey.
should say no.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
he wasn't cooperative in the full
and that's
context
what
that they wanted.
That's what they were getting him for. I mean, Aaron Rodgers likes his balls overinflated. Tom Brady likes them underinflated. Every quarterback has it. But I guess my question to you,
Yeah, but the whole point of it is, I mean, it's like you play a volleyball match, you play a basketball game.
right?
It's supposed to be inflated to a certain.
Well, I mean, not in this case because they don't even keep track of the inflation, the
Yeah, but I
pressure
mean,
per
but-
inch.
But it's regulated. PPI, that's what I was trying to think of. Right? Pressure per inch. Ooh, sorry. Anyway,
no, but it's one of the few things that is not regulated. They
don't check it before any of the games.
They check it. The officials check it, but they don't write it down. They don't log it into anything. They don't have anybody sign for anything. Like they had to go
Right,
by.
but they check it.
And they had to go by the memory of these officials from a game that happened 3.5 months ago.
Well, that's why he's gotten away with it for so long.
Okay.
I mean, it's just one of those things, and it came around. Had he just said, "Look, I like my balls inflated this way. No ref has ever said anything to me before. This has never been an issue. I've done this forever."
Right.
And blah blah blah, and they would have said, "Well, you owe us $25,000 because that's the rule. If you mess with the balls, it's $25,000, and play ball. Thanks a lot."
Okay.
But
All right.
instead, they did this big cover, and he's like, "I don't know anything. I never
it was
even
a little
heard
bit
of this."
obnoxious.
I have to agree with you there.
And then they're like, "Well, fuck you. Now you owe us." And now that's like, whoa.
Well,
All
like
right.
months later, they didn't lose a title though, and
Well,
no,
okay,
they are really
but-
handicapped for the next 2 years.
I mean, yeah, they're losing draft picks and whatnot, but like I guess my problem with it is Ray Rice was caught on film punching his girlfriend out,
Yeah.
and he got 2 games.
Yeah, but that didn't.
Baltimore didn't get, but it's still like I think it sends the wrong precedent. I think just the Patriots are getting picked on and Tom Brady because the Patriots are the Patriots and Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
That's how a Tom Brady fan would feel.
Okay, but I mean, okay, well,
Stop picking on me.
Ben Roethlisberger was hauled off to court for allegedly raping 2 girls who he later settled out of court with.
Right.
He didn't get suspended at all. I mean, Ray Lewis was in the middle of a murder investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, Adrian Peterson just last year beat the shit out of his kid. Like,
so you
and-
think that when the NFL signs players,
Why
that
should
they should
the NFL
incorporate
be-
into their contract public displays or
Well, they do.
legalities?
I mean, they have like if you're a football player for the NFL and you go out and you get drunk and get a DUI, you're hurting the brand of NFL. So they do have it in their Players Association contract with a league that you will be fined, you will be, whatever, penalized for such and such an action. It's never been deflating footballs. It's been domestic violence, drug or alcohol abuse, using PEDs.
So you'd like to see that kind of information incorporated into their contract?
Well, I don't think deflated footballs makes that big of a deal. I don't think it does.
It wasn't until they covered it up. And
Okay.
that's what they're saying. They're saying you can't.
You have to tell
They're
us
saying you didn't tell us the truth, and you
that we
lied.
don't know. We can't say for sure, but we
Right.
don't think you're telling us the truth.
Right.
Well, they're pretty convinced.
Pretty convinced.
I mean, I'm sure. I really doubt that they are just like, it's too close to call. You might as well give them. I mean, that's a huge suspension. That's a huge
Yeah,
discipline for something that they kind of feel like he did.
it's a huge discipline for not being absolutely certain, though. I think you should have to be certain, like have a smoking gun.
I mean,
have proof.
Well,
But
And that's why I think it was too much.
And that's why I'm really tired of listening to everybody talk about it, so we don't need to talk about this anymore. It's been nonstop on the radio. Everybody, like my Twitter feed, Facebook, it's just like, Jesus Christ.
The
Shut
Chicago
up.
Bulls should thank the NFL for breaking this news right after the LeBron buzzer beater.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, that buzzer beater was all SportsCenter talked about that night. And then the very next day, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. I heard that Jay Cutler's expecting another baby, so they sent out this Onion article that at least Jay Cutler can do something right.
Aw.
I don't know. Just a small jab at your guys' quarterback since we've been knocking mine. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. A grandma found what she called premier cocaine in her granola bars. That story and more coming up after this. Thank you guys for listening to The William Barron Show.
The William Barron Show.
Okay, guys, we got a new recording artist for you to check out. We want you to go to SoundCloud. We want you to search for Vaughn V, Vaughn V, featuring Sean Brown and Carly McLean. It's a hot single that comes off the mixtape. You can check it out. Go to SoundCloud, search for Vaughn V. The name of the mixtape is called Ammunition. We listened to it. It's great. Check them out on SoundCloud. Okay, podcast listeners, you listen to our show. We want you to check out Ben Sorens's Real Country, the #1 country podcast on Podomatic and has been for the past 2 years. They feature the latest country tunes, interviews, news, music. It's perfectly dosed, 1 hour serving each week on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, every other podcasting app known to women, which is, much better than a man, I suppose. In the past, they've interviewed names like Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, Darius Rucker, Tim McGraw, Eric Church. They've done travel specials all over the world. Join in weekly white knuckle country music thrill ride. You can go to realcountrymix.com and you can go to iTunes and just search for it. Check them out. We've listened to it. It's a great podcast, mix of music and everything. I've got to work on quitting smoking. And those vapor cigarettes, those are something that we want you to check out the guys over at Vape One. They are truly the vape geeks. They've been supplying the United States with premium e-cig products for over 2 years. If you don't have an electronic cigarette, they have awesome, easy-to-use starter kits. Vape One also has the top products in over 100 flavors from 12 juice lines. Why are you still smoking? Vape One, VAPE-1.com. Check them out today. After the show, guys, we want you guys to hop on over to YouTube and search for Hurricane Satellite. In parentheses, It Happens Mashup. It's a really well-produced song that has gotten quite a few views, and it's a very I want to say that the song kind of moves. It gets more aggressive. Crescendos is the word that I'm looking for. It's a great song. Hurricane Satellite. Go to YouTube, search for Hurricane Satellite. It Happens Mashup. It's a great song.
The William Barron Show.
Welcome back to the William Barron Show. Joe and Emma are joining me, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but a grandmother in Ohio, I believe it was, she opened up a box of granola bars. She grabbed an individual granola bar. Mm-hmm. She opened that up, and out came a little bag with what she called high-quality cocaine. How she knew it was high quality, I don't know.
Grandma would know.
Now, when you
that's
say
true.
grandma, you're not talking about your literal
Not my
grandma.
Oh.
No. This is some grandmother that I'm not affiliated with.
Now, I wonder, is she
Okay.
a grandmother, like, is she from the 60s? She would, or from the 80s? Is she in the 80s? 1980s, because that's when Coke was really...
Well, of course she was from the
kicking,
80s
right?
then. I mean, she's like 60, 65.
Well, there you go.
But the little bag had like little bags of cash with the money sign on it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how she figured it was Premier, because it had the little emoji of a bag of cash all over it. And she was so the cops investigated it. She called the cops. The cops came. They tested it. It was Premier cocaine, very high quality stuff. And so they decided to go to General Mills, who was the maker of the candy bar, and they were like, maybe one of your employees had fell out of their shirt when they were packaging